All right, so we are recording. So this is part two of the Peach versus Rob VOD review. We're going to be looking at Mudace versus Zamba. Mudace is the best Peach player in the world. I'm pretty sure there's Umeki as well, who's really good. But today we're going to look at Mudace versus Rob. And if you haven't watched part one, we're going to be moving a little bit faster because we know a lot of Zamba's patterns already. So we're going to kind of look at them a little bit more. But yeah, we're mainly going to be seeing how Mudace plays the matchup and how we can kind of combine some of Ling Ling's good habits with Mudace's good habits to kind of have a better complete game plan versus Rob and seeing what he does right in this matchup. So let's get right into it.
I'm just poking. It just so happens.
So, like I said, PS2 is fine, but since we have a lot more information on Zamba, it's a good idea to ban Town and City for sure because we learned that you die off the sides a lot earlier when he's pressuring you with stuff like back air. He doesn't go for a lot of side B reads, unlike a lot of Robs, but I don't think he's going to be scared of doing that too much. But he mainly uses side B when Peach has no other options versus Rob. But Town and City seems like a good comfort pick for him, so I'd definitely ban that. Battlefield seems okay, actually. Weirdly enough, because when we were looking at the Ling Ling VODs, uh, Ling did really well on Battlefield, especially. So I would keep that open, and maybe Smashville. Maybe Smashville is not that great of an idea because it's like you have less space to work with. But Zombies is a very jumpy Rob, so I think picking PS2 is perfectly fine here. Just the only thing I would ban is Town and City now that we have more info on him. So yeah,
Happens in my
yeah.
tool.
Like we said, I like already Mudace doesn't pull turnip because like we saw at the beginning of the last VOD, Robs love to shoot laser at the start of the game. So I'm liking he
Kill
already took
opportunity.
an
Just be like,
approach
I'm just
of
poking.
just
It just
like
so happens in my tool.
jumping, not pulling turnip, just immediately trying to go to center stage,
Happens to
and
just
then
kill.
he's jumping over it like
So
this. So
I'm just I'm just poking.
something I'm
It
gonna
just so
look at
happens in my
more
tool.
of is
Happens to
seeing
just kill.
how we play around the stalemate of Rob puts down the gyro. We didn't see that too much with Ling Ling, where we saw a lot of Rob puts down the gyro and stays back. We saw Zomba jumping a lot more and catching Ling's air movement. So when you're in this position, you have to worry about one thing mainly, and that's Rob's down tilt. Because Rob, when you're in between Rob and Gyro, he wants to down tilt you to kind of sandwich you, get stuff like a grab and combo into it. So what you can do in this spot is, well, you want to wait out the laser first because Gyro to laser is just like super common. Pretty much every Rob does it, and he's covering Peach's air movement here with this laser. Is you can back air because like we established in the Ling VOD, back air outranges down tilt, so it's a really good tool here to kind of deal with that. But Mutace opts to just get the gyro, which is perfectly fine. It was good he tried to close the distance a little bit, but just remember that because Rob, like we're seeing here, is he's gonna try to chase you with something like a down tilt or a dash attack there. So I already like what he did there. He was just like, okay, I could back it here, but I could also just get the gyro for free. And Rob's not very fast, so he can get it there. And personally, I would have held it. No reason to throw it up here. I think he was thinking Zomba would play more passive, but we know Zomba's a very aggressive Rob. So he's not scared to press buttons at all. So here, I definitely would have just held it, knowing the information from the Ling VOD.
But I mean, a little bit more manageable of a
But
match
here's the same
to just
pattern we
kill.
kind of
So
saw in the first one, where he's rolling out a shield, so he normally just uses roll as his main get out of jail free card, as
but
well
I
as he
mean,
lands into
a little.
some grounded option. So I want to see Ling do what. I want to see Mudace. I'm sorry. I want to see Mudace do what Ling didn't do too much, which is jump after he lands. So I want to see that.
A little bit more manageable
But he gets the down
of a
tilt.
matchup
It's also
to kill.
interesting to
So,
see what Rob does after this down tilt because we didn't
but I
really
mean,
talk about
a
this
little.
too much when Rob down tilts you. Normally, what Rob will try to do is down tilt you once and then try to read a panic option, like a roll away or you mashing or something like that. And it
Bit
makes
more.
sense why he would down tilt and go for an aggressive option because Rob, some of the other characters, these low knockback moves are really good at baiting out panic options. Snake F tilt is another one to keep in mind. Snake F tilt, something like Palu jab. These low knockback move, low lag moves that it poke you are good at reading panic options. So normally they'll hit you once and then they'll try to read you rolling away. So instead, Mutace knows this matchup really well, to where it's like, I'm not gonna roll away, so I'll just down tilt you when you're trying to read me doing a defensive option to get out of this down tilt pressure. And see, it nets him a lot of reward.
And one that is,
One thing to keep in mind when comboing
but I
Rob,
mean,
because we
a
haven't
little bit
talked about
more
this too
manageable
much,
of a match.
is you want to use a lot of nairs. Because one thing you get if you're doing these nair trains perfectly is you can get weak hit nair on Rob, and it's really easy to get it on him. You can do nair, 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 weak nair, and then you get another down tilt, which is even more damage. So just something to keep in mind. I'll probably find a VOD of. Actually, we can do that right now. This is kind of what I mean visually. So Rob versus Razo. I think it was Curaflax. So just to kind of optimize your punish game a little bit versus Rob. I think was it Grand Finals? Curaflex Rob? 'Cause I saw Razo do this and it's been super helpful. I'll go through an ad, but find it eventually.
Burn it all down.
Really loving the character now.
See, it was on FD2.
The muscle memory you've retained from those other games
I think
carries
it was
over
right
into
here.
again. Some neutral engagement wins, but again.
Oh,
It does have that
well,
one
not this
combo that-
one.
I don't know how honest you would
Let me
call
go to
it.
another VOD. Sorry, y'all. It's taking a little bit, but I think this is pretty important to look at. Let's go back to the other one.
Things we know.
Yo, low key, I just wanna be like, I'm mad at
Here it
WNF.
is.
That's
It should
Smash
be it.
4 again in top
Right
left.
here.
Alright.
Is
I'm
this.
Not taking damage. Oh my god, dude, that was sick.
There we go. So what you do, so like we said, parry down tilt's really good against Rob. You get the down tilt, you nair, 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 and then third nair sends him into a tech situation
Oh my god,
where you can get this weakened nair to follow up.
dude.
And then that's either a free down air here or a free down tilt, either one. But I think down tilt is more rewarding because then you can read with side B like this. Just a small thing you can use to optimize damage versus Rob. Same thing here. Mutace doesn't really drift. I think he just messes it up.
But I mean,
honestly.
a little bit more manageable of a
He
matchup.
nair, but I think he tried to get it there. But instead, just keep going forward because once you get him in this tech situation, you could jab if you want to. Jab also works instead of the weakened nair, just to kind of reset. So Rob is big, and it definitely works in your favor here.
And one that is actually very.
But
But
here,
I mean,
if you mess
a
it
little bit
up,
more
we know
manageable of a matchup.
Zombo's
And
main way of
one
getting out of disadvantage is going for the roll. So
that is
I would have that was smart. He tried to read the jump.
actually very familiar to Mutace as well, considering that
Here it is again,
matchup, and one that
where
is actually
Rob
very familiar to Mutace
will land, and then he goes for the
as
down
well,
tilt.
considering
And then he goes for a grab here.
that
So
Mutace
he's probably just going to down tilt once to see what you do, rather than just like keep spamming it like some rocks
right?
do.
Considering that Mutace, lives in Texas.
Right,
And
right.
I like what he does here too.
Right?
So it's like we were talking about in
Mutace,
disadvantage, you
lives
can use this float as a mix up
lives
to
in
kind of mix up your landings. And he
Texas.
uses his back air to not only cross up, but get in Rob's blind spot. Because we've seen Zombo a lot of the time try to catch landings with gyro.
Right,
And
right.
So
they
it's
test
good.
the land of
Tries to
Rob.
parry there,
Right.
and there it is again. He's trying to already get into Rob's blind spot there.
But don't forget that.
But
Right,
he's
right.
doing
It's
something
the
very
land
right
of
here
Robs.
that I've been talking about. After he lands, he decides to jump and go for down air pressure just to get him. But he ends up rolling away anyways. But
But
see,
don't forget
he's able to cross him up and
that
go for
over there in the
pressure.
tri-state area,
Oh.
there are a couple of notable
This is
features, and
awesome.
Don't forget
Because we
that
didn't see
over
this
there
too
in the-
much from
right,
Ling.
It's the
The
land of
land of
Robs.
Robs.
Right.
Where once you
But
get to
don't
this
forget
mid range, Rob versus Rob, you want to
Over
just
there-
chill. Like it's okay to
The
wait here,
tri-state
shield, try to
area,
parry, wait for the projectiles, try to walk and space around the nair. This is beautiful.
Couple of
And then he spaces a float over the gyro.
notable people.
And it makes sense,
But
right?
don't forget
Oh, it kind of
that over
glitched there.
and
Right.
It's the
The
land,
land
of,
of
Robs.
Robs.
Right. But don't forget that over there in the tri-state
So yeah,
area.
see how he's kind of
Land of
spacing
Robs,
float
right.
here? It's similar to Ling Ling,
But don't
where
forget
he jumps here in case Rob will try to like shoot
that-
laser or chase after him. But one thing we did see a lot is whenever Zombo is in the corner, like around here,
Over there
he
in the
always will try to shoot a projectile and
tri-state
then it's
area, you know.
laser into another projectile. So we know for a fact that Zombo always will. Oh, I didn't full screen it. Zombo will have the pattern of shooting two projectiles at once.
Oh,
And yeah, spacing around the
there are a
Nair,
couple
and then he jumps and floats like at that range where he guesses that he's gonna try to shoot another gyro out to get it in
notable
play.
peaches in there as well. So
Interesting spot dodge. But notice the spacing
in
around the
there as
Nair
well.
whenever he does
So
go in the air. He's always doing it at this range where he can just barely space out of Nair while also avoiding stuff like the gyro and the laser. And back air, that's kind of what we were talking about with back air.
starting
It's super
there
good in
as
these
well.
spots
So
because it not only will wall out the down tilt, but it'll also just clank with gyro. So back ground flow back air has quite a few uses.
starting off,
And yeah, there's jump into landing,
both
and then Mutace opts to jump again, which is good.
players are trying to feel out what they can get away.
But yeah,
Starting
I'm already liking how he's playing patient at this mid range. It's
off,
very important.
both players are
Jump, he jumps over the grounded option, and then he goes for a landing. So he's already starting to catch on with that. Very
feel
smart.
out what they
And then he shields, and then, you know, if he tries to use Rising Fair on shield, that's punishable.
can get
So he
away
gets in
with.
there. This would have been a great
Starting off,
spot,
both players are trying to
I
feel out
think,
what they can get
is once you hit him on this platform, just double jump, float, and then react. So
away with.
you don't always have to chase with an up air. It's good, it's really safe, but you can get more reward by
Starting off, both players are trying to feel
hitting
out
Rob
what they
onto
can
this
get
platform and then double jump float and then reacting to all options there.
away with.
So you can like float above the get up attack and then like go for down air, or if he rolls in, you hit him. But yeah, and then or you can go forward with fair. But this up air was safe, but I think it would have been a little bit better, and it probably would have guaranteed him in the corner at least if he would have double jump floated above get up attack range when chasing him on the platform.
Trying to feel out what they can get
But since
away
you're already
with.
here, so he up airs. I don't agree with him trying to jump on the platform either, unless you're gonna drop through it again as a bait versus this nair. But maybe that's what he was going for. But like we were saying, don't overextend when Rob is above you, because then he gets under you first, and then he's able to catch your landing, and you're in disadvantage.
Excellent jump around, threading the needle, Zomba.
But this is another thing you have to like kind of worry about is you
Excellent
get up aired,
jump
and
around,
then
threading.
Rob can try to chase you with the upbeat. So it was very smart for him to jump. He's not wasting his float, which you need as a landing
The
mix-up.
needle, Zomba. And he's trying
can
to
see
get
he
this
does that
juggle
there.
going.
And I'm
on.
liking how he's already
Jump
spacing
around,
float
threading
again
the
here.
needle, Zomba. And he's trying to get this
So he gets back to he covers himself with the fair.
juggle.
And then after he lands, he's probably going to go for a grounded option. So it was very smart for him to
Going
jump
on.
here and then go for pressure to wall out the nair.
Here we go. And Zomba. And he's trying to get this juggle going on.
But yeah, after that, I just think he should hold shield a little longer.
And we're gonna see a lot of that in there just
But it's
because
fine.
like it kind of
Interesting
like,
option
we're gonna see
here.
like
So like we were
Go,
saying,
and we're gonna see a
Rob
lot of
likes
that
to
in there
pressure
just
with
because-
aerials, especially Zombo when it comes to back air. So this down air was
kind
definitely
of
very
just like
smart.
we're gonna see like Peach kind of like.
But I don't agree with this fair here. Because like we said, fair is just too slow. It's mainly used for ledge trapping in this matchup. What would have been a better option is just go for JCFF nair to get out of the corner. So at least you can shield first versus something like back air and nair. Because fair has startup and his arrows have startup. It's just not the best option to go for. Maybe he was trying to read a gyro, but JCFF nair pretty much accomplishes what this fair was trying to do, which was anti-air and jump over like a laser or something and get to the ground and shield.
Peach kind of
So I don't agree with
like
that.
in the
but
hitbox,
fine.
right?
We end up trading
of
anyways.
Rob, right? So we're gonna see Peach literally just.
I like this.
in the hitbox, right?
Where
Of Rob.
it kind of combines two things
So
at
we're gonna
once where you can, one, jump and catch the gyro with the nair. So we're going to kind of go over a little bit more of how to get off of ledges, Peach. And Peach has quite a few mix-ups. And if you try to force your way out of disadvantages, Peach, it's because you're not very confident in drifting to ledge. And Peach has a lot of mix-ups. So one option you have in the corner is full hop nair. Full hop nair is really good because it anti-airs, it trades. So if you're trading, it's kind of like before with the back air, right? Trading out of the corner as Peach is not the worst option, especially when they're at high percent, because they're going to be flung all the way to the other side of the stage, and that's a free way to get out of the corner. In full hop nair, you can land before you can jump or float again before touching the ground. So it's a good mix-up to have. So this is good. It catches the gyro while also being a key part of the matchup, which is anti-airing Rob here. So very smart. It seems very small, but it's something that just covers a lot of options at once. And at higher levels, you need to have plays like this where it's very multi-layered
Peach literally
and
just like
calculated.
get burnt by that a couple times of
Interesting.
Rob, right? So we're gonna see Peach literally just
I personally would have just tossed it up here because we
like
know Zombo will try to escape out of pressure with jumps.
get burnt by that a couple times, more than a couple really. So the
Or
Nair
did he
Peach
Z-drop
literally
it?
just
Or
like
did it just like
get
fall?
burnt by that a
Oh,
couple
it fell out
times,
of
more
his
than a
hand.
couple really. So
I like how he drifted to ledge there, not trying to drift there.
the
So
Nair
really
definitely
good. Catches it again. And like we said, once you get this gyro, you don't want to throw it immediately just because his laser will try to beat it. So it's kind of similar if you played Peach before and your opponent catches a turnip. They're going to throw it immediately, especially like if they're on ledge or something. So Rob, it's really common for people to have gyro and throw it, so they'll just laser you anyways. And it's like, oh, well, we're back to square one and we took more damage. So instead, I would rather hold this as a bait and to make his neutral more linear. It's a good bait to just make him waste the laser, to show him that I'm willing to hold on to the gyro.
in this
And Peach
matchup
can
right
camp
now,
with the gyro
the
pretty well.
laser and the parry off that, and once again,
And the
that
other nice thing
proves
is,
in this
if you have gyro in hand, if Link still had the gyro and he got hit by this laser, it would have cut off a ledge trap option for Rob, which is very huge.
matchup right
So
now.
that's why you really need to hold gyro against Rob, just as a way to make it easier to get off of ledge, because it not only cuts that off, it anti-airs his jumps, and you can also use it at a shield if you're in the corner.
The laser and the parry off that,
Playing
and
patient
once again,
here,
that
and notice how he's not drifting in,
back
he's
air,
just taking his time in the corner.
the laser
He's playing this
and the parry
patient
off that, and
mid
once
range
again, that
here, where
back
he jumps over,
air.
he tries to wall at the nair, we're sandwiched between, so I'm gonna wall you with this back air so you don't down tilt me for free. So just keep in mind, when you're sandwiched between these two, back air is definitely your best friend, JCFF and ground float, because it anti-airs his nair and just stuff like that. But I
The
like the nair,
laser
I like the
and
back air
the
here
parry off
first.
that, and once again, that
So
back
he plays patient, he jumps over
air.
it, and this back air, because, a common habit is gyro to nair. And then he does this to not be sandwiched in between to defend himself. And there's no need to get this gyro over here, because this gives Rob another projectile. And keeping it in a place that's far away just restricts his access to it. So that's fine to leave it over there, for anyone wondering.
Challenging Zomba. Not gonna mess with that
Mhm.
Mudace fighting.
Okay.
Challenging Zomba.
Interesting he's not throwing it up, because Zombo's getting on stage with a lot of these jumps and aggressive options, because he is an aggressive Rob player. Fair there, and then he does a rising aerial to anti-air. So he's already doing good with the cross-ups, where once Zomba crosses him up, he tries to, land on him with the nair. So it's really good.
And a lot of control.
But yeah, there it is again. You gotta wait out the projectiles.
And I've noticed
He's playing patient here. I like how it mutes spacing around ledge. So when Rob's at ledge, you have to kind of respect his ledge options a little bit. Leave a little space because he will try to jump off of ledge with either a nair or a gyro. And it makes sense because Zomba's playstyle is pretty aggressive. So he's probably not going to be the most patient in the corner. And that's kind of like a big fundamental thing when playing Smash is if you can read their playstyle in neutral, it gives you better reads for the corner and getting out of disadvantage because they're like, oh, they're aggressive. They're probably not going to play very patient in other aspects of the game.
Oh, okay.
And it makes sense here.
And I've noticed a lot.
So, yeah, this back air was really smart because this not only caught any aggressive option, but it also caught the gyro. So, good stuff from you.
Good catch. Yep. And look, that's that Rob experience. Like
playing patient, I love how he's playing patient.
Look, that's
he's not drifting in, and he's just taking his time. There's no need to rush out of the corner There's no need to rush out of the corner because you can eat stuff like a back air and. Rob's advantage state is just so good. So, like how he's just playing very passive, he goes for a roll here, which is a good mix-up.
Like in the land of Rob.
Yeah, he jumps there and then lands with the down tilt to protect himself, which is also kind of a good mix-up because Rob will try to chase your landings with down tilt.
Rob plenty of times, and
Because you're
Interesting.
big, you have to pay the heavy tax.
Yeah, he's
if you want to
spacing
play
around. Oh my god, this is so good. He's catching his jumps.
With big,
But this is what we were talking
you have
about.
to pay the
Up
heavy
air kind
tax
of
if you want
is
to play this
just
game with
iffy.
me.
The juggling Rob, you want to stay on the ground. And here you can either go for an up tilt, parry down tilt, or if he's at kill percent up smash. This up air, see, you have to time it so perfectly or else you just kind of get hit. So, and we'll see that later, a little bit later as well, where it's just super hard to juggle.
You have to pay the heavy
Rob
tax
in
if you want to play this game with me. New Days with
so
big,
you get him
big damage.
using float to kind of
Damage
mix
off
up, staying patient, not really forcing his way. And here we're in this situation again,
Big damage off
where Mudace just opts to jump over it, and then he shields to defend himself, and then he just like jumps away. So I like how he's just not forcing his way out of the corner.
Something to respond to here.
And there it is again, where
Now Zamba has
back air, grounded, aerial into grounded option.
something to respond to
And
here.
he was in the air a little bit too much.
Zamba has
Like this air movement was good because he's spacing around his anti-airs pretty well. But see, this is when you mix up by start walking and shielding to get out of the corner because Zamba's very aware that Mudace is jumping a lot in the corner. So you have to mix up with more ground movement.
He's gonna catch that 60. And that's saying if
Nice air
Mudace
dodge.
doesn't continue to put on some
And nice patience there. Super good. There's gyro to laser, the usual.
and if
And
Mudace doesn't continue to put on some
yeah,
hurt,
so you just have to wait out both. Yeah, gyro to laser, and then he tries to catch it, but Zamba punishes him with the dash attack.
Dash attack. Put him in disadvantage and
Excellent air
right,
dodge.
good air
Nice.
dodge.
I like what he
Dash
did there.
attack.
Because it goes with
Put him
what
in
we were saying
disadvantage.
earlier. Landing, he does an aerial, and then he tries to go for some grounded option. So that was really
Right,
smart.
good air dodge.
Jumping after he
Such good timing.
lands.
Yeah, he figured that the nair was on the way, so
Yeah, and that's
Wow,
what I
and
mean.
challenge-
Where up air,
that
you
the-
just
that there was
stuff
on
like
the
this
way,
will
so-
happen, and we didn't see it a lot in the Ling Ling game because Ling Ling's juggling was just super on point. But yeah, you have to like time the up air really precisely, or else his nair just kind of like beats it, and it's really annoying. So yeah, what I would have done,
air dodge.
I think Mudace is
Yeah,
kind of
he figured that
struggling
the-
with
that the nair
keeping
was
Rob
on
above him.
the way,
And what you
so-
want to do is float up here, don't overextend to bait out the nair, and then kind of go from there. Or you can wave land on the platform and up tilt. Either one works.
Wow, and challenge
Rob most of the time will land
You're right,
with
the nair
nair,
was on the
but
way.
up tilt
Yeah, I mean
beats it.
challenge the up air coming out from Mudace and tied in
Nice.
stocks, but
on the way.
So
yeah, I mean challenge
this is also
the,
good
the up air
awareness.
coming out from Mudace.
Where if Rob has the gyro, most of the time he's gonna try to Z drop nair. So this run up shield was really smart to try to either go for a parry or to mess up his spacing here to get the
Tied
punish. And
in
he
stocks,
pummels here,
but
gets him
still,
on the
it's really the
platform,
early
gets
game
another
that's been paying
grab,
off for Mudace, right?
back air.
The
And
early
here
game
you
was
just
like
kind
that
of wait
getting
for the
that
projectile,
grabbing those grab
wait for both of them because gyro to laser,
combos,
to a
right?
combo.
Really just getting paying 70 before you're even able to play the game.
And he's doing something
Those grab
very
combos,
right here as
Literally
well.
just
So he gets hit
getting
back, but he goes for the fair to
paying
cover
70
space,
before
and then he goes for the full hop or just like double jump nair to anti-air, one of his jumps out of the
you're even
corner.
able to play the game.
So it's kind of what we were talking about with Ling
Right,
Ling
just
games,
getting
where
up,
when you're
paying
ledge
70
trapping,
before you-
going for this nair is really good to catch Rob trying to jump over you with the
You're
nair.
even able to play the game.
Let me see.
Zamba, though, playing like he's not
Nice
even at
patience.
134. He's running in.
Gyro to nair,
Excellent
and
spacing.
then into a dash
Got
attack.
Mudace to react.
Yeah, he definitely could have back aired again, like right here, because he is kind of rolling. The roll makes sense because he thought he would have tried to chase him with another down tilt. But I don't know. I still would have gone for more back air walling just to defend myself here,
Excellent spacing.
especially from that
Got
dash
Mudace to
attack.
react. Optic.
Let me see. So nair, and see, he does nair into grounded option anyways. So I think JCFF back air would have been perfect here.
Excellent spacing. Got
Just
Mudace
combining
to
a
react.
few habits into one. Oh my god, is my computer okay? Alright,
Optic.
so do that. Yeah, okay.
man,
So he
I-
tries. I think that was like a combo or something.
I
but
like the option coverage,
Right,
right?
right.
You jump up and then all of a
nice.
sudden
I like what he did here. So it was like we were saying
yeah,
earlier,
I
where
like the
Mudace is
option
doing a really
coverage,
good
right,
job at like just spacing barely out of range of the aggressive option from ledge
jump
and punishing Zamba
up
for it.
and then all of a sudden you might be like,
Very
you might
smart.
get vacuumed into that,
Because,
but
you know, when you get hit in your
So
disadvantage,
now we're
sometimes
just
you
gonna
spend your
like
jump.
hold. It was good he
Might
pulled
be
turn up,
you might
and now
get
we're just gonna
vacuumed into
like
that,
kind
You
of
know, when you
camp
get
until
in
invincibility's
your
gone.
disadvantage, sometimes you spend your jump.
right.
Gyro to laser, and he's going for a tomahawk there. And there it is again, where Zamba just like jumps. He exits the platform with an aggressive option, and then he tries to go for pressure. He goes for a grounded move after landing. So I like this down air. Interesting grab. That was a free down tilt. But I guess the grab is like safer. It's like, why not? I'll just do this. He goes for that, but I would have gone for like guaranteed damage, but that's fine.
I said the drag down, like that's what I'm saying. Like you're gonna pay.
And now Mutex is definitely starting to mix it up. Remember what we said about after landing, he goes for a grounded option, and then he either like shields or something. So then he, instead of going for down air, he jumps into tomahawk. And this is a good way to get free grabs on heavies. And we already know how good pummels are versus them to unstill our moves to get kills. So this is really good for him. He's starting to really like mix it up. Goes for up air. Those are all true. Ooh, that was really good. That was super good. Where he does that, after he lands, he jumps, but that also avoids the gyro in the corner. So it was talking what we were talking about in the Ling VOD, where you want to space float in a place where you avoid the gyro, have a chance to anti-air, while also covering roll. So this is super good awareness by Mutex. It's a very multi-layered decision here, because it covers multiple options at once, while also dealing with another habit. Very creative. Wow. And then he does it again, where he's going for these tomahawks. And this is, I think this is something Mutex is just generally really good at, is in these pressure scenarios, when you're at last stock, he goes for a lot of tomahawks, because most people will just opt to hold shield here. And that's just like a free grab at that point. And this will also condition Zamba to roll, because Zamba likes to roll, so he'll probably start shielding and then rolling later, most likely. So I'm liking he's going for these tomahawks, because even if he miss, he still gets the conditioning off of it.
And literally the empty hop, like Zamba is getting like juked out of their shoes right now. They don't.
Let me see.
And literally the empty hop, like
68% off. He covers the roll, and yeah, he panic shields
literally
there.
the empty hop, like Zamba is.
Interesting he doesn't try to like throw turnip up, but I guess it's making sense because Zamba is trying to get back to the stage aggressively.
Out of their shoes right now.
But I wouldn't have done it this high, because at this point in the game, you can lose, because Rob is a character that's really good at comebacks. So you want to be very, very grounded when trying to seal out the game versus Rob, especially when you're nearing kill percent. It's very important. So I think short hop would have been better, just so I have a chance to get to the ground first to get shield, while also setting up for a ledge trap. So that full hop, maybe it was a misinput, but it would have been better to just short hop and keep center stage there, rather than risking it all for like a turn up forward air. Interesting. Nice. And Zamba's going for that again, where he down tilts once and then tries to read your next option. So the back air at a shield was really smart.
This can wear on a player not knowing when.
But now Zamba's going to try to mix it up, where, again, he lands, but then he's going to try to read you jumping with this up tilt. And the way you deal with that is you have to space your flow. What we did earlier, you can do a few things. You can either hold shield for longer, because Zamba most likely won't landing into grab. That's not something we've really seen a lot. It's mainly down tilt. So you can jump and float a little bit away, and then you can come down for like a punish, or try to read the roll, because he most likely will. Or shoot gyro in the spot. But yeah, just have to be aware of that mix-up. Oh, I think, hold on. Let me redo this. So we're at 334. Yeah, I'm gonna just redo it there. Guess my computer doesn't want to work.
There's a lot to manage in life right now. Chase Secure Banking is right there
She's
with
acting
you to help.
really weird right now. All right,
Off that.
334.
Wow, and the nair and literally the empty hop, like Zamba is getting like juked out of their shoes right now. They don't know what to defend and what not.
Interesting side B mix up. And I like how he's just playing patient on the platform too. Opts to just jump here.
They don't know what to defend and what not.
So side B has a mix up. Opts to jump here, cover with the down air, with the back air to try to cover space and poke Rob at that blind spot. And goes for back air.
And this can wear on a player not knowing when you can punish.
Yeah, you just have to hold turn up for a little bit longer.
Zamba finds a little light at the end of the tunnel.
I don't really agree with some of this.
Zamba finds a little light at the end of the tunnel. up
I think he's playing 2 airborne here, honestly.
air at
Because,
least.
again, you want to play grounded at these percents
And now evening up
when
the
you're trying to get
stocks,
kills
returning
versus
back to
Rob.
the
Oh,
stage.
nice spacing.
The up air at least.
Alright, so we're back. My computer broke, but we're just going to get right back into the swing of things.
Back to the stage.
Yeah, Mudesh reads the
Challenge them
aggressive
anyway?
nair
Okay.
off of ledge here. And now it's a matter of just catching Rob's landing. So we're throwing it up here. Don't overextend. And there it is again, where we jump over Zamba landing, and then he goes for shield or some sort of grounded option. I think at this point, it might have been stronger to try to read the roll or bait out the roll from him. But this is fine as well. Getting pummels is always a decent thing to do against Rob. So I think this is smart. Just keep going for what
Trap his
works.
landings.
Right.
Up throw's kind of weird. We could have just like back thrown him there and tried to read the aggressive option at ledge. Because we already know how hard it is to just juggle Rod, so I don't really agree with this.
Literally, Mudace is empty hopping over and over again. Empty hopping and then grabbing.
Oh, you
Zomba's
actually had the right idea. Because it was basically what I said, where he's in the corner, and then you just read the roll for free. Because he's going to try to start rolling now, because he thinks you're going to try to grab him.
Hopping and then grabbing. Zomba shielding
Yeah,
entirely.
but definitely don't go for grabs. Just try to bait out the roll.
Hopping and then grabbing.
Bait out the
Zomba
roll
shielding
and read it.
entirely too much. Zomba is trying to find the
Interesting.
way to mount.
Oh, he's starting to go for
Empty
these
hopping and then grabbing.
grabs. And at this point, you don't want to do that.
Zomba shielding
Unless you're
entirely
going
too
for
much.
Tomahawk.
Zomba is
So he pokes him. I'm going to
trying
guess
to
this
find
is a miss
the
input.
way to mount a defense against
Goes for there.
this mix
Nice
from
near out of
Mudace
shield.
too much. Zomba is trying to find the way to mount a defense.
So he does this. And he tries to grab him, but then he goes for nair out of shield. And another thing we can read is Zomba will try to jump out of shield as well. So either of those two will work.
This mix from Mudace is having the biggest
So
difficulty
wait for
at
the
moment.
projectile.
Still
Do
here,
this.
Ude's narrowly whiffing that
Nice. Really getting him here. Because again, it's the same habit of he will shoot gyro then go for nair. Especially since he just uses lasers. So this was really smart. But instead, I think maybe he should have chased him with the ground foot nair. Because it's all about getting this kill here. Because Rob is a rage monster. And you don't want him living too long. So maybe it would have been better, but this is okay as well.
Narrowly whiffing that back air. Zomba with a
Get the
second
gyro,
chance at
don't
life.
throw it. Unless you're going to throw it up or as to catch his landing, which is fine. Get him there.
Just staying steady.
Gyro.
Mudace just not
Oh,
taking
he
any
actually had the
unnecessary risks.
Not
game.
move.
He actually had the game. What would have been perfect here? So we know gyro to laser is the thing. This is where you double jump forward air. This would have been perfect, and it would have also went with the habit we've seen earlier. Gyro to laser. I mean, this fair makes sense because he might jump, but double jump cancel fair, or just like jumping over it and hitting Rob would have been perfect here. This would have been absolutely perfect. And then trying to read the roll here would have been good as well.
Taking any unnecessary risks.
So
Not move.
starting to miss
Knows
these
Rob can like
opportunities.
kill him at like this percent right here.
Down
so
air's
he's just
there.
Trying to be like, hey, I'm just trying to relax right here.
Oh my
Can
god.
like kill him at like this percent right here. So he's
Yeah,
just trying
here
to be
you do that,
like, hey.
and then you can go for JCFF and air, or you can just go for down air. But most likely, I would have been more scared of the up tilt in this spot, so I would have tried to JCFF and air after his landing to avoid something like the down tilt there. So
Just trying to relax right here, and yep, just gonna leap out here.
this is when reading those habits
Tilt's on the
really
way.
matter.
Oh,
Is when you need to
and,
get the killer speech.
yep, just
Conditioning
gonna
is
leap out here.
very key
Understands that the up-
to get this. But he's going for these backers. I think he should just be going for more nair pressure here.
Tilt's on the way.
It's very
wow,
fresh. He
Zomba
hasn't
making
really been
a
using
stellar
nair a
comeback
lot.
here.
And
Is Zomba gonna get this
another
game?
problem here
Is Zomba gonna rob
is
this?
he played
Stellar
too airborne.
comeback here. Out here.
So you just have to play it patient here.
On the way.
Take your time.
Wow,
Don't
Zomba
try to land on the platform where we can get up
Comeback
tilted.
Is
And
Zomba-
then instead of jumping off of here, just try to drop through the platform. You need to get to the ground first. And when you're at these kill percents, you need to be on the ground. For example, like Snake, I think we mentioned, if you're in the air too much and you're at high percent, then you just get up tilted and it's like GG. But you want to play very patient and grounded and start picking apart those habits
Zomba
or try to
gonna get this
condition for the
game?
kill.
Is
Yeah.
Zomba gonna rob this
Played
from
too
Ude's?
airborne,
Oh
and
no!
I think here you
Is
probably
Zomba
could have
Zomba
just
making
nared
a
as
stellar
well
comeback here.
to get out of
Is
this
Zomba
spot.
gonna get
Like he could have just fast followed and nared,
this game?
especially since we know
Oh wow, Zomba making a stellar comeback
from
here.
the first set
Is Zomba gonna
where we can try to position flow over here to not only avoid the gyro that he was charging there, but also cover the roll. So Nair would have been the best choice here, for sure.
Is Samba gonna
Yeah,
rob this
he
from
didn't use
Mudace?
Nair enough this game, which I think costed him
no!
quite a few
That is
spots.
not off ledge,
That's
but
fine.
it's just like
And it worked out
Happens.
beautifully for him. Unfortunate for
So we're going to what
Samba,
stage
very
now?
literally taking that out of Mudace's hands.
and that's rough. That's a momentum killer, 100%.
Yes.
So yeah,
Honestly,
here most likely he's just
yes.
gonna laser. So it's very smart to shield.
And Mudace,
Gyro.
to his credit, honestly,
Whenever
yes.
there's a platform here, we kind of saw this at the end of the set with Ling Ling, is Rob he'll try to jump over and then get on the platform while shooting Gyro. So this makes sense. And then he comes off the platform with an aggressive option, and since he's landing, he's probably going to use a grounded option right afterwards. So we're already piecing together quite a few habits at once. This is where you can get really creative with Peach, because once you start reading habits, this is when your bait and punish game can really shine, because it's all about paying attention to the opponent.
His credit is not a player that gets
Interesting.
and Mudace, to his
So he gets in there,
credit,
he lands, and then he goes for the down air.
not a
Personally, I think what he should have done was what Ling Ling does, where he jumps again instead of trying to land here and go for pressure. But this is fine too, because you can take a more passive approach and just kind of patiently find a way out of the corner.
that gets
So this isn't bad
too
either.
demotivated during the bracket. Right? If
I'm seeing this a
a player
lot,
that
where he gets hit
gets,
in the corner,
um,
and then he wants to go for a rising down air. Remember, you can use float off of ledge too, which is very helpful. And since he hasn't been playing very grounded in the corner, then ground floating off of ledge would have been the perfect option here. It would have been the perfect mix-up.
demotivated during the
Because you can do stuff like ground float
credit is
fair,
not a player that gets
like right here,
too
and kind of scoop Rob from below. Because Nair goes kind of in a circle, right? So you can just like ground float Nair off of ledge right there, and it would have been fine.
motivated
But yeah,
during the
definitely mix it up from these
Right, if he's
regular down
playing,
airs.
still in. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna do my best.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my god, my
takes the wind out
computer
of your
is
sails.
breaking.
In. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna do my best.
Yeah, 100% though.
Yeah, there's the aggressive option, trying to get out of the
That
corner.
yourselves
He
will-
back airs
see
him.
things like that, there's
And
gotta
oh
be
my
some
god, he's
effect.
doing so well.
Yeah,
Shield
I just
ledge
wonder
traps are really smart here
How takes the wind out of your sails.
when you
because,
see
Zamba tries to be aggressive in the corner.
Things like
So
that,
this
there's
is
gotta
really
be
good
some effect,
for
you know?
Muto.
Yeah.
I just want
And he catches him again
to
there.
how much it's going
So he's
to
catching these jumps pretty well.
Right, but hey, I mean, losers
Playing
quarters,
patient
right?
here,
Mudace
no
definitely
need to
not
rush things,
going
and
to-
we should have waited out the laser
Right, but
there.
hey, I mean, losers
So he
quarters,
has the gyro
right?
in hand, he throws it, and
Mudace
then he just shoots laser after.
Definitely
So
not, down but not out, only down by
I like how
one
he's
game.
spacing around this Nair
Right,
with his air
Mudace definitely
movement.
not, down but not out, only
Yeah,
down by
and then he
one
jumps
game.
again. Right there.
Yeah,
I just wonder how much it's going to affect Mudace.
right, but hey, I mean, losers
So he gets
quarters,
that.
right?
He
Mudace
throws it,
definitely
laser.
not,
And then he lands, and then he jumps again. He's
Down,
probably going to use a grounded option here, so this jump was really smart.
not out.
And then he tries to land anti-airing the snare and poking at that
Only
angle.
down by one
So
game.
good stuff.
But Zamba literally
Try to laser. I like the
kind of just
patience.
playing their game over
And then he
over
uses
again
the
and
fair
not
to try to
wavering,
chase
and that's
him.
really the reason why they find themselves in the position that they are now. Like literally just understanding, like, look,
Let's see.
and that's really the reason why they find themselves in the position that they are now. Like literally just understanding, like, look,
Nice
I'm gonna
stuff.
kill you at rate.
That
right
is
now.
something you can do.
Literally just
Is
understanding, like, look,
if he shoots this, you can duck right under it.
like I'm
And there's the gyro to
gonna kill
Nair.
you at rage.
So it seems like whenever
literally
did he just shoot
over and over
laser?
again and not wavering, and that's really the reason why they
So he
find
does
themselves in the
that.
position that they are now.
Yeah, he shoots laser. So it seems like whenever he
Literally
shoots gyro and he doesn't have
just
laser,
understanding, like, look,
he wants to go for some sort of
like-
Nair pressure instead of the normal laser. So this makes sense.
I'm gonna kill you at rage.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna stop. But if you want to stop, that's
Laser,
fine.
just playing patient here. I love the patience here. So this is what
I'm
you
not-
want in this matchup. Where if you are far away from Rob, don't force your way in.
Gonna stop.
Just kind
If
of
you
like
want-
chill.
stop.
You can pull a turn up if you want, as long as you're ready for this laser.
That's fine. Like,
You can walk, shield, and you can do anti-airs like that. He rolls away, just playing very passive here, jumping over, and not holding forward. Very good. I like what he's doing here.
Oh, but the rope
Personally here, I think he should have
Very
done what he
patient.
was doing. Oh, he does landing into grounded option
but
again.
the control behind
He throws the
punish by
turnip
Zomba,
too
now's an
early.
opportunity. Zombear, not there.
But I like how he's playing very passive here
By Zomba, now's
and
an
just kind of
opportunity.
like using his air
Zombear,
movement
not
very
there.
wisely to space around the snare. And he was able to mix up with the snare here, so this is really smart. Oh no, he overextends. And yep, just playing patient, avoiding both of the projectiles. So I'm loving this neutral so far from Mudace. Just super patient
Zomba's getting
and
real
just like
comfortable with this
playing around the
kind of
habits
pace of
that we
play as
already
well.
know, which is him landing into grounded option, etc.
Oh, opportunity.
Doesn't hold forward. And that's an okay up air. It's just like you use it more as a mix up in this matchup rather than overextending with juggles.
Okay, trying to expend the bear a little bit
Yep,
too
just
much.
playing patient here. Nice float. It was the same float we were talking about before.
Okay, trying to expend
Where
the
after he
bear a
lands,
little
he's
bit
probably going to do a grounded option. So we float here,
much and
and I would have personally just tried to cover the roll afterwards.
end up getting sniped
But the nair is safe
with
too.
the up air, the shield, and
Chasing
not
with
going
the
to
fair.
be able to get the kill yet.
But yeah, you got to wait out the projectile off stage.
Wow, getting hit with that laser through the turnip.
Nice.
Kind of just some footwork. Zomba testing the waters. Turn
But
it.
yeah, just kind of combining these habits
Kind
together.
of just some footwork.
Gyro. Wait, did he just land?
Getting hit with that laser through the turnip.
It was like he jumps and then he tries to cover his landing with the gyro. So that was good to go over it. Personally, I probably would have tried to call out the jump out of shield because Zomba does jump out of shield a lot, as we've seen in the lane games.
Right, couple down tilts.
Yeah, throwing the safe aerials. Just like, you're at the percent where if you get hit by this, you're going to die anyway.
Yeah.
Nice. And this is something you can also do when you're playing very passive with float at this range, is you can just like also catch a gyro with the nair.
You're going to die anyway.
Yeah. I mean, any neutral
Get out
exchange
the
I think
laser,
right now
and then he goes for an aerial.
is real good for both.
So yeah, and it makes sense because now he's on the platform, so he's probably going to try to play aggressive, leave it, and get him.
Real good for both of them.
Get it there, very passive neutral, and going for these triangle mix-ups where he like spaces around goes around the nair with good spacing, and then he jumps over it and then goes for. He could have like naired there and went for shield pressure, and now Zomba's rolling. And he protects center stage, so that was really good.
Yeah, got a little bit too close. I see Zomba is like literally just like kind of like hopping up and down, just because they don't want to get grabbed anymore. They don't want to get conditioned to try to shield anything.
Right, you stay a little too stationary.
They don't want to get grabbed anymore. They don't want to get conditioned to try to shield anything.
Here I would have rolled. Well, yeah, you could have just rolled and went back to
Stay
center.
a little too stationary.
But that's fine.
Other players can pick up on that habit.
Ooh,
Okay.
yeah, you got to pull the trigger there.
I mean, Mudace didn't have a lot
I think
of
that might have covered
invincibility left at the ledge, so...
But yeah, see, just chilling at this mid-range. And since he's been moving in the air a lot, it makes sense why he would play grounded and try to walk here. It both goes with his neutral and when he's in the corner. Since he was playing very airborne in neutral a little bit ago, and in the corner, it makes sense why he would just play very passive with shield here. And try to just walk and shield. Just chilling out, using the jump there as a mix-up.
Wide range.
So again, we're in this situation where we're sandwiched, so we're probably just gonna jump here instead to try to avoid the dash attack or the down tilt he's gonna try to chase us with.
As they continue trying to find a win in neutral.
Ooh, and you saw that regrab
Very,
by the top.
very patient here. No need to rush things. I'm loving this neutral a lot. Nice.
Kicks.
And again, if you space around his nair, it's kind of like we were saying earlier, where after he lands, he's probably going to use a grounded option. So then we can go for this down air. So this was really smart. It's combining two habits again.
Kicks. Back air.
There we go. The combo
Have
potential
to
from
jump,
the plat.
because, Zomba likes to
Throwing it
jump
up,
out of
trying to
there.
just snipe him out of the air.
But yeah, again,
Throwing it up, trying to just snipe
overextending
him
with
out of
these
the air.
juggles. Just land. You can air dodge here, like just neutral air dodge if you're really unsure. But it's all about getting to the ground first to not get hit by this nair.
Wow, getting hit by the nair anyway. And now,
Jumping.
maybe some platform shenanigans here for Zomba, but no, the switch around.
Yeah, definitely should have bared here.
Maybe some platform shenanigans
Would
here
have
for
been better
Zomba, but no.
because Zomba likes to lead the platform with an
the switch
aggressive
around.
option.
Respecting
Down
the
tilt
turn.
does low profile the
Pick it
laser.
up, and very fortunate that down
Jumping
tilt
after he lands, and then he waits out the patient.
filed the-
So this goes with the
respecting
play
gyro when
style
picking
as
up,
well.
and very
It's like,
fortunate.
if we're being very passive, eventually Zomba's probably going to choose some really aggressive option,
That
and we can
down tilt.
punish it. So the patience here for Mudace is the perfect call.
Low profile.
Throw it up. But yeah, fair is too slow there. Maybe you should have spaced it a little better, but it was the right idea. Try to catch the landing, but I think you should try to catch landings with nair, with ground float nair a little bit more.
The laser. Oh, very high.
Very high ceiling.
Nice. And there it is again.
Mix-up
We were
from
talking about
Mudace.
game
They
one
get their
with the
neutral win.
tomahawks.
Jumping in.
Or
Nice.
yeah,
Good
so
mix-up
if
from
he throws a
Mudace.
turnip
They
here,
get
this is better than up air. And sometimes you can convert by throwing it up and then just like
their
going
neutral
for a
win.
forward air like right here if you want. But staying ground is also good
Jumping in.
because you can just like
But Zomba with the
go for what
disrespect.
you're going
Mix-up from
for
Mudace.
before.
They get their neutral win.
Where you just jump after he lands and then you
Jumping
can go
in.
for pressure, read the
But
roll.
Zomba with the disrespect. I do not care if you're in advantage. I'm
Okay, so here's something really
in.
important in this Peach.
But Zomba
that I
with
see
the
a lot of
disrespect.
Peach
I
players
do not
do.
care if
Is
you're
they're in the corner and they feel like they're free to just like pull turn up here. Don't do this. Instead, focus on trying to get out of the corner first. Mute should have just stuck with the game plan of, you know, walking and shielding and playing very passive and waiting for both
in advantage. I'm
projectiles
pressing forward.
here
Yeah,
rather
that's
than
kind of
pulling
what
turn
Zomba
up. Because you can get punished pretty hard for doing
is
that.
counting on.
Yeah.
Because Zomba wants to come up and hit more buttons after you think it's okay to air dodge or
Okay.
mash yourself. Right? It's just trying
Yeah,
to
just
get
playing
maintain some
patient
distance
here.
in the back air.
Back airs.
Not going to do it just yet, but high
Because
percent.
another thing with
Gotta
Zomba
make
is he always drops shield at a very specific time. So that was a
some
good
distance here, the back air.
that was a good time to pull the trigger on the back air.
Right, just trying to
Was just like right there. Because either he's gonna roll or jump out of
gotta
shield
maintain some distance here, the
at
back
that
air.
point.
Not going to do it just yet, but high percentage, 140 apiece.
Okay.
The
Nair,
nair
not
still
quite.
not doing it. Percentage, 140 apiece.
But yeah, I'm surprised he's not throwing it up. Like throwing the turnip up here. Just to kind of deny Zomba's jumps or any aggressive options. Because he does hold forward quite a bit in the corner. I feel like when Mudace just calls him out on that,
Wow.
he does really well.
We find ourselves in a repeat
Nice.
of the first
Okay,
stock.
we did the
Back,
same thing,
up throw,
but I don't agree with the up throw. But maybe it's not
but
bad. Here.
not quite enough.
That was good. That was actually
Up
awesome.
throw, but not quite
Where
enough.
we saw it kind of on the Town and City game with Ling, where he up aired and then he tried to chase him again. But see, getting to the ground first is important, and then we jump over the gyro and pressure him, especially trying to like catch his roll there. Just pressuring some grounded options.
Landing
after he
affair.
landed. One thing I'm not seeing a lot of
Landing
from both
affair.
Ling and Mudace is when they don't hold the gyro for long enough to see how Zomba reacts to it. I'd probably guess that Zomba would play aggressive, but they don't really camp with the gyro in hand. And that's kind of another part of the matchup, is if you hold another player's item, you want to see how they react to it. So, especially when gyro is such a core part of Zomba's neutral, and just Rob's neutral in general. Let me see. Yeah, space around the up tilt, and just kind of get on there.
Mudace
Up there.
is pressing down on the gas pedal.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah,
Sniped him
probably
out.
should have stayed grounded there. But yeah, I guess it makes sense. But again, when you're this far, just play it.
Wow,
Nice.
and
You should
sniped
wait
him
for the
out great, but
laser.
Still 175.
Because
with
normally most Robs, when they're this far away, they will like do something. They'll either like charge,
sniped him
gyro, or
out great,
shoot
but
laser.
still 175 with a stock left
Interesting.
to go to make it
Oh.
even. And the up air.
Yeah. So this is what we were talking about with Ling Ling, where once you're in this spot to have a clear shot at just getting out of the corner, just take it. Don't
Stop
try to
left to
reversal
go.
Rob. Well, not reversal. Don't try to overextend. Just get to the center and keep stage control. Because we can rack up more damage
Sniped
here.
him out great, but still
Because we already know a
175
lot of
with
his habits out of the corner. So just take the chance to go here. Don't throw this turnip down because you can use it as a ledge trap. But yeah, definitely just take the guaranteed route to get out off the ledge.
go to make it even.
Rather than try to
And the
challenge
up air.
Rob's up air right
That
there.
lowered a little bit. no, I was wondering, like, using the blast zone for
We kind of saw that with
for,
Ling
a quick
in the
second.
last set
Right.
too.
182 with the Unites.
Gyro the
Mudace
laser,
being very patient.
gets him there.
Zomba
And
approaching
we're
with
going
the
for these
nair, but
parries, so this is
unfortunately,
really good.
It's not going to work out.
Here, I would bait out the nair. Okay, good.
Oh, Mudace is putting the hold in on his game.
All right, just play a patient here.
Now, listen, this is where Mudace found themselves
There's the
last
roll
game,
out of shield
right?
again.
True,
So
true.
yeah, you're
Mudace
just
was
seeing a lot of
definitely,
Zomba's
like, in the
habit.
lead.
And there it is again. Zomba drops shield. He doesn't hold it for too long. And the back air was good because we probably would have crossed him up anyways.
And still not going to die after 165%.
Interesting. He
They've
doesn't throw
both
that out.
lived to such ridiculous percentages.
Yeah.
There's no reason to rush things here. This is really good. Just hold the gyro.
He stole
Play
the
patient.
gyro.
No need to rush
Both
things.
characters of
Maybe
high
float a little bit.
Right? And
Float in that spot we were talking
the
about,
gyro.
where float here to kind of like cover roll or avoid some kind of ground move, because Zombo can try to chase you with down tilt.
both characters of high weight.
But I think honestly, what would have been better here is, since he hasn't really been reading his jumps out of shield, just jump back air, and he would have got it. He actually would have got the game there, because we did see that with Ling Ling, where he would float in that spot, and that's a great spot to just like jump and throw out like a fair back air to catch his jumps out of shield.
Both characters of high weight.
Get the roll there, really
And
smart.
Zomba is just trying to get some space. Doesn't want to get conditioned to the empty hop.
Just be ready for his drop in the air that we've been kind of talking
Doesn't
about.
want to get conditioned to the empty hop.
Oh no.
Okay.
Don't let it happen
Ooh,
twice,
okay.
Ace.
Just play patient here. Don't rush things.
Right.
But yeah, when you're around there, when he's around the platform, he's probably going to shoot
Zomba's
a
coming
projectile.
alive.
Zomba.
He's
Yeah,
becoming
and you need to play
sentient.
grounded here, because
and-
again, you're just going to get caught
coming alive.
by a lot of these anti-airs from Rob, and that's how game one ended. So it seems like around this time of the game, I think Mutace is just jumping too much, and he needs to be on the
Zombo,
He's
floor.
becoming sentient.
Okay.
Catches
And
landing
is
is
still
in
going to
there.
survive at 180.
Wait for the projectile.
Going to be able to get back.
Nice. Oh, he got it.
There's no way. 180.
He's doing really good at these rolls, where he does that, he floats, tries to bait it out of shield, and then you just have to pull the trigger right there. Go for the nair, go for the back air. Just be confident
There's no
instead
way.
of trying
Okay,
to
I was
like
gonna say,
wait
like,
too
A
long.
down throw perhaps.
Okay.
Oh,
That
and
down air
it's still not
barely
gonna die at
works.
194, so Zomba, the survivability.
Here,
Oh,
maybe go
and
for
it's
Z
still
drop,
not gonna die at
because we know he's gonna
194.
leave the platform aggressively anyways. So Z drop would have been perfect there. So something to keep in mind.
Zomba, the survivability. Ooh, wow! Trying to seal that game with the up smash, not going to be able to get it.
Oh,
The
nice.
laser,
Getting
and
in there.
see that C?
Awesome.
I was
That's
gonna
gotta
say,
do it.
Yeah,
And it was kind of what we were saying earlier,
Laser,
where we're
and
sandwiched in this position, so start going for back airs.
see that
And they
C?
do really,
I
really,
was gonna
really
do
say,
it.
Yeah,
So that was good.
she was literally just kind of.
Let's go on to game 3.
Very difficult. Switching
Yeah,
in.
it's just the air movement. I think
He knows, like,
there were
he knows
times where he
exactly.
was in the air and it was just like
No
super
vote
risky.
for,
So we're back on
kind
town.
of vote for Mute,
Wait for laser.
just because Mute has literally
Nice.
just,
Oh well, we just get hit by it anyway.
like,
So
I have to circumvent my way through all of this madness that you're doing.
Yep.
and there's the
the
dash
top,
attack.
the laser.
So it seems like whenever
I
we
have
do
to
try to catch the
circumvent my way through
gyro,
all of this
his
madness
response is to
you're doing.
immediately chase us with the ground move. So
Yep.
this
The
is fine.
top, the laser, like it's all like really, really difficult.
Nice. Uh-oh, we're on the
I think
platform.
in
We're getting up
matchups like
tilted.
this, you talk about,
I'm loving Mutace's spacing around the nair.
I think in
This tells me they
matchups
know
like-
the matchup, because he's doing a good job of fading in and out of this range. And then once he does, he punishes his landing with the back air.
we talk about, character versus character, head to head.
Ooh, he
It's
could have
very
gone for a
important to
tomahawk
think
there.
about how much you have to
But
play
yeah,
a
there it is again.
character versus
We're
character.
on the
head-to-head.
platform.
It's very important
Probably gonna come off with the aggressive option.
to think about
Yes,
how
so it's
much
good on
you
Mutace
have
to
to play around
recognize
the
that.
other person's
Has the landing with turn up,
options.
and he's
It's
doing
definitely one of those
really
characters that hasn't
good.
done a lot,
And
but
now
play
catching his
around the other
landings.
person's options.
Doing
Rob's
that.
definitely one of those
Nice
characters.
side B. Here's when you can Z drop to get it, like
We
right
had a lot,
here. But throwing it down
Mutace
is not
does not
bad
give
either.
a care.
Ooh, very risky.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't like that.
And that's what I was talking about, where if you're in disadvantage, see, he doesn't, even though he jumps there, he doesn't waste his float and saves it for a landing mix-up right here.
I don't like that on that platform play right
Nice
there.
up
Kinda
smash,
risky,
high
but no
risk, high
one's really gone for
reward.
anything off
Yep,
quite
that was a good
yet.
idea
On that
from
platform
Mutace,
play right
where,
there. Kinda risky,
like you
but
said,
no one's really
save
gone-
this for kill percent, where you go for these up smashes. It was the right idea, it was just like the execution was a little off, but this was the perfect read to
anything
go
off
for.
that quite yet.
See how he's just spacing float around these nairs, and now you want to just play grounded
Look at how much work.
versus him.
Look at how much work Mutace has to do. But
Ooh.
the returning gyro.
Wait for
buys
the jump
Mutace
or
a
some aggressive options. So when he's on that platform, he probably, like we said, he'll just try to shoot gyro when he's around that
Right,
platform.
back
So we
to
just
the
got to be
stage.
ready for it. Okay, just get the gyro there.
Just Thought he
Throw
could
it up.
the top was just being
Nice.
stationary right there.
Good. Caught the roll.
And
Very
literally
smart.
rolling into Mudace. Not the best idea.
So yeah, Mudace is playing this super well.
A stock lead so far for Mudace.
Play patient
1-4 at
here.
the edges of the stage. Very possible
Interesting
for Zamba to pick
jump.
so
I think
far
he
for
would have
Mudace.
gotten it, especially since Zamba was right here. I think he just anticipated he was going to try to catch him there, but that would have been free to just like go to the platform there because now you'd lost your
Very
jump.
possible
So.
for Zamba to pick this stock up.
Oh no!
No.
Okay.
Oh wow, that
What you could have done
Very
here
possible for Zamba
stock lead
was
so far for Mudace.
let's see.
1-4 and at the edges of the stage.
Is just like you could have thrown the turnip there to protect yourself because we've kind of established that turnips are a good way to anti-air Rob's pressure. So
It's very possible for Zamba to pick this
yeah.
stock up.
Interesting
Oh,
wow,
option.
that was
unfortunate.
Oh well.
Yeah, that
Unfortunate.
was a strange interaction.
Because he did beat the side B.
Yeah, he beat the side B, but it sent him at an angle.
Yeah.
Right?
Basically, I've mentioned the habits so many times, y'all can just kind of see them
Yeah,
at this
okay.
point. Gyro laser. But yeah, now we need to start playing on this up tilt a little bit more. Where after he lands, he's gonna don't drift in too far when he's down there because we don't want
Wow,
to get hit by
anti-air.
this.
Stop floating above me.
Oh
man.
no! Yeah, just
That
play
platform
patient
getting
here.
there literally in the nick of time,
Wait for them
just
both.
so they can get that worked out for them.
Cross up, trying to make it as safe as possible. Mudace has taken a little bit
But
of
this is
percent.
also kind of another mix-up you can go
Cross
for,
up, trying to make it
where
as safe
he
as
shoots
possible.
it, and then you can kind of, yeah, you can kind of pancake under that, doing the ground float Z catch.
Mudace has taken a little bit of percent.
Probably aggressive
Percent.
option.
Zamba has turned.
Yeah,
To the
now
defensive
we're just
side,
playing
real
patient
passive.
and closing the gap,
But
and Mudace's
chance
patience
to
paid off, because like we said, Zamba's probably going to pull the trigger first, because he is aggressive.
dash attack. Eats
Copy
46-54,
aggressive
no
option
gyro.
there. Stay grounded, maybe up tilt. Yeah, again,
54,
these
no
up airs. I
gyro.
think these up airs are kind of killing Mudace a little bit, where you want to just like avoid using that. You could have done like fast fall up air to like set up a frame trap, but yeah, you could have like shielded there.
Ooh.
Yeah, back air,
Once again, back to the Call of Duty minigun. This out, throwing
gyro
that out.
laser,
This over
gyro
here.
to
Yeah.
chase into down tilt. So whenever you get
It's
sandwiched,
still a little bit even, but we see that Mudace is trying to find space to make it work. Still not going to die. Town and City kind of just like,
Uh-oh.
you know,
nice,
adding on to the survivability a little bit.
nice early up B.
Oh, the high up beat gets hit by the
Oh my
down
God.
tilt.
Oh
Now the F
no!
tilt.
Let's see how we could have avoided this.
Town and City.
Let's go all the way back to when we were on the ground.
This out, throwing that out.
So
This over here.
this was
Yeah,
good.
Still a little bit even, but we see
It was just we have to hold shield a little bit longer now to avoid the up tilt.
Mudace is trying to find space to make it work. Still
You
not
know,
going to die.
just to avoid that
Town
up
and City
tilt because Zamba is catching onto that. He catches Mudace drifting in,
kind of just like
and then he wastes
you
his
know,
jump too early. Oh, he was trying to get to
adding on to the
ledge.
survivability a little bit.
I would have waited with float down there a little bit longer, to be honest. Rob could side B me, but it's super unlikely because he hasn't really been going for that at this point. It's a pretty wild read to go for, which I don't think he would if we would have just waited with float down there. Because you want to avoid the situation where you're with Parasol. Because see, we kind of
The
just
high
like
up beat gets hit by the
are
down
out of
tilt. Now the F
options,
tilt.
and it's just really
Wow! With a small laser. That's crazy.
nice. Oh man, he's trying to space around this snare.
Oh, no,
versus
not like
landing.
this.
He's going to
Play passive
evaporate
here.
him.
Yeah, I saw the drop right there. And
But yeah,
not like
here,
He's going to
this is when you
evaporate
can go,
him.
after this nair, this is when you can go for a JCFF nair off of ledge.
Yeah,
Instead
I
of going
saw
for
the-
this
I saw
roll.
the drop
Because
right
Rob,
there.
projectile characters are really good at catching rolls. So you want to avoid overly, like being too obvious with your rolls versus them.
And I think that platform
Because
might
they
have
want
saved
you,
them
because the thing is,
him.
when
Yeah, I
projectile
saw the-
characters are
I saw the-
pressuring you at ledge,
Oh,
they
no,
want
not
you to
like
choose
this.
an
He's going
immediate
to
option.
evaporate
It's
him.
like,
Yeah.
here, please choose an immediate option
I saw
that I
the-
can punish you with. So, best just to stay patient.
saw the drop right there, and I think that
Or you
platform
can go for the nair like we were talking about, because he hasn't really been using float off of ledge too much as a mix-up.
might have saved them because he was clearly looking for a top
Nice.
drop so that we can go.
But yeah, you
and
can
I
also
think that
JCFF
platform
nair
might have saved
too.
them 'cause
You
I was
space
there
it
when
right,
he was
because like we
clearly
were saying,
looking
he's starting to go for more of these up tilts after
for
he
a top
lands.
drop so that we can go for a side B gyro.
Ooh,
to
we
end
coulda gotten
game
the roll.
So far, Mudace fight for a
But yeah,
top
if
drop
you're
so
going
that
for
we can
dare
go
pressure, I really
side-
like that he stays in the air and kind of reacts, because then we can go for a falling nair right here to catch the roll. So Going for down air pressure now, drifting away is definitely the best option when going for shield pressure because we can cover up tilt and the roll.
Gyro to end the game, but so far, Muday's fighting back, but the offense is getting stuffed right now.
Okay,
So
just kind of
close.
pressuring him with fair.
I know Zamba steering.
But yeah,
way
now there it is
back.
again with the up tilt. He's starting to read us.
Wow,
And
good
then
pair.
now we're being patient between the gyro. And that was smart because he probably would have chased us with the grounded move. But the parry was good there too. Yep.
Nice.
Get him there. And since gyro was over here, I like the call out with fair because that. Let me check something. Did he shield here? Yes, we down tilts. He lands with nair. Oh, he just down tilts. So I guess it was okay to try to chase the roll there in case he would have tried to catch the gyro. So that was nice awareness from Mudes, was chasing the ground flow fair when gyro was over here because in case Zamba tried to get greedy and get the gyro over there. So that was really good awareness.
Nice. So many items being thrown back and forth. Oh, and Zamba gets a chance to have some turnips.
Oh no, you got greedy and disadvantage
Yeah,
like we were talking about.
A chance to have some
Right,
turnips.
you don't land here. Just respect Zamba's platform pressure because that's how he's getting Mudes a lot. Is he gets in these scenarios where he just lands on the platform and then he just kind of gets hit. So
Like, it's gonna be really, really difficult at this juncture. Like,
interesting.
especially
I like
the way
how.
that Zamba's
Oh,
playing.
nice spot dodge.
Like,
So yeah, he doesn't pull turn up here. He opts just to go for jump into down air, which is fine.
especially with the
And then he does the dash attack because we are in between the gyro, right? So it's pretty common for him to do that.
way that
And then he goes for the spot dodge out of shield. So that's a good mix up. Are we doing
this is
triple
kind of
nair?
what Mudes wants
Oh,
right here.
man. There you go.
Nice. Catches the
Get in
aggressive jump off
Mudes
of
definitely
ledge,
want these
the
combo
usual.
starters, and I think small battlefield is definitely the pick for this to try to.
And yeah, again, these up
Mudes
airs
definitely
just
want
kind of
these
getting
combo
Mudes
starters,
here.
and I think small battlefield
Or
is
you
definitely.
do. It was good to do that. Then this is when you can like go for an up tilt here instead of just going for this up air because we've already established it's just so hard to juggle Rob consistently, and it's better to go for other options on the
For
ground.
this to try to force this into a game 5.
Yeah. And there is laser into an aerial. I probably would have guessed gyro, but yeah, this back air was fine.
Zamba
Up tilt.
looking to try and even this
Yeah,
percent up.
spacing,
Even better.
doing a really good job
Zamba
at just kind of
looking to try
spacing around what Zamba's going to do after the gyro,
Even the
which is very important.
percent up. Even better.
It's
if he
either a
can trade
nair or a
stocks.
laser. Nice roll. And again, like we were talking
Percent up.
about,
Even better.
when
if he
Zamba's
can
kind
trade
of
stocks.
over here, he wants to, when he's in this area in the corner, he likes to jump and then throw gyro. So this was a good float. Catch the landing here.
Excellent.
Super good.
Mudes tries again.
Nice.
Yo,
That was very,
Reaper
very
hit.
smart.
Excellent parry.
Good way to get an early kill is just, down throw and then try to read the Rob's option on the platform with his up smash. So I really like that a lot.
As again,
wow.
the Reaper himself. Mudes.
Really good way, really good up smash.
Play
through the
patient
platform.
here. He was in the air too long. That was a problem here. He was kind of just like floating here.
Really good way, really good up smash
Float.
through the platform.
And then, yeah, he just kind of gets hit. So in grounded matchups, you don't want to be in the air too long, but it's fine. So now we have turnip at ledge. This is very good. Because see, it gives us an option
man.
at a shield to work with. There it is. Chasing his landing.
Okay.
Playing patient
You know,
here.
Rob, Zamba is going to
Facing
come
right
in
in
there
here.
scrapping. He's going to come in
Yeah.
there
Going for a lot of these
Anytime you see
interesting
Mudes get-
rolls.
Zamba is gonna
Let me
come
see
in
why
there
he's
scrapping.
doing it. Oh, it's after he lands in case he tries to chase him with the down tilt.
He's
Okay.
going to come in
Yeah.
there scrapping. Anytime
Yep.
he sees Mudes
Get
get
him
close,
there.
he's
Try to
not
close the
afraid.
gap. And it makes sense.
He's going to
I
come
like
in
what
there
he did here, where he does this,
Any-
and then, yeah, jumps over
Time he
it,
sees-
and then he tries to read. Personally, I would have read the jump out of shield there.
Mudes
Wait,
get-
hold on, let me go
Zamba's
back.
going to come in there scrapping. He's going to come in
Yeah.
there scrapping.
Gyro to laser, let's just, or,
Any-
yeah, there's another gyro. So
Time he
gyro,
sees-
laser, pressure
Mudes
rob,
get close.
and, yeah, I would have read the jump out of shield there, like, immediately.
He's not afraid.
We're not doing, unlike Ling Ling, I think Mudes isn't doing a great job of reading these jumps out of shield versus Rob.
Like immediately after a nair or back air, like a button is coming after that.
Yeah.
Whether that be like, up tilt or whether that be
There's
like
a
top or
landing.
anything like that. Like something is on the way after that.
Yeah, see, it's just you have to put up air in very specific spots in order to
Right
get
now, both
Rob.
these
So it's
guys are
possible.
scrapping, but so far,
It's just
Mudace.
very difficult.
Mudace turning
With the
Zamba
big
into
lead.
Mudace is
scrap
just gonna
metal.
hold this lead here. Down tilt?
So far,
Oh,
Mudace.
Mudace turning
With the
Zamba
big
into
lead.
I guess
scrap
down tilt
metal.
doesn't make sense because he's gonna jump anyways or roll. But I like the up smash attempt because he most likely would have been aggressive there. So it was a good read.
Oh my
wait.
goodness. Yeah, he didn't want to like
And the
you
roll
know,
to get around
go
him
too far
chasing
back
with the
just because
grounded
top was behind him.
option
Didn't want to get hit and mess up anything
and
he
just
had
shielding on the
going
platform.
Mudace.
Nice.
Still looking pretty good
Ooh,
right now.
okay.
And the nair right
Good.
on top of them. And
Like we were saying, in these scenarios where you're up
Still
close to
looking
Rob,
good.
going for JCFF Nair is definitely the play because it covers a lot of his options
right
that he
now.
wants to go
And
for.
the nair right on top of them. And
Go
avoiding
for
the
that.
laser, the turnip catch, but Zomba right now. High
Now he's using the Nair and he's
stock.
having like a lot of success
Not even a
with it.
stocked on from Mudace, excuse me.
Side B
even
is
a
a mix
stock
up.
on.
I think this
Zamba
game is
living
probably in
to
Mudace's hands
161,
here,
but is
as
it
long as he
too
plays
little too
patient.
late?
But I like this mix up
Zamba
here, where
living to 161, but is it
as you do this, he's probably going to chase you with the grounded option, so he probably could have down aired here. But yeah, you definitely could have down aired here, which would have been great. Because most likely he's going to guess that you're either going to catch this gyro or he's going to like sandwich you in between. So he's trying to get there early to catch you. So this flow is really smart. But then he honestly could have either just like, yeah, he tries to roll there when he's in shield or just go for pressure.
late?
Yeah, don't overextend here.
And he's
No
gonna
need
get
to go
this
for these
combo
dash
locked.
attacks. Very calm under pressure. I like how he doesn't immediately
And
go
he's
for the mash out. That is one mix up you can do against Rob, is not mash out if you think they're gonna up air. So you can then mash when they're up airing and get out, like
Gonna get this
basically
combo
what we
locked.
see
Mix
here.
up.
The weight off the berry, very nice.
Good.
If Mudace closes this
And
up,
when chasing
the
Rob's
berry,
landings
very
with the shield,
nice.
this is a great way to also just close space because you saw that back air has a little bit of end lag. Is he gonna gyro here? Double jump gyro? Yeah. Like we said, when he's at that distance, he's probably gonna do it.
if Mudace closes this stock out, they will be sitting
He's
pretty to
spacing
get this to
around
game
there,
5.
just playing patient here. But yeah,
They
like
will
we
be sitting
said,
pretty to get this to game 5.
yeah, again, Mudace really needs to start getting these jumps out of shield. It's gonna get him a lot of. It's gonna
Searching
net
for a hit
him
here.
quite a bit.
Oh,
And there's the roll.
Zamba.
Yeah, he's getting a little overzealous with these rolls. So
Uh,
instead, just
Zamba's
hold
on the
shield a
back
little
air, finally
longer,
getting-
especially since Zamba's most likely gonna try to up tilt you anyways after landing.
oh,
Yeah.
So-
Zamba.
Zomba
Definitely the
throwing it
time
back
to
air,
start
finally
mixing
getting
up how long you hold your shield.
But answering right back Mudace with the fair, not
Stitch,
getting a kill.
hold
It's
it.
a
Quite
stitch,
yet.
it's a
No, no, we could have kept that for the kill, but that's okay.
It is a Stitch
For
face.
now, I
Let's go,
guess. Okay. Nice, but yeah, see, you have to space it in a very
Wow,
specific
that
way.
up air
Can't
killing
just like go up there and up there.
201%. Here we go, Mudace. Sitting in
Play
great
patient here, and again, he's always
great
going for
position.
this option.
201%. Here we go, Mudace.
It's just double jump float here. Instead, I think I probably would have gone off stage floated. I would have gone off stage and then just went to ledge, honestly, and then try to anti-air Rob with the turn up from there. Because he is in the air too long here when he has invincibility.
Great position right now to make a case for a game.
And now
no
we're
way.
kind of getting
Five.
in this situation. So it would have been better. Maybe float down here, wait Rob, and then try to up B. Or just use JCFF platform movement as a mix-up. So you kind of have to also mix up what you do around people's invincibility, or else you can give them a free stock.
Can
Like in
Zamba
Rob's
steal a
case.
stock right here? It would be a great reversal for him.
Yeah, he's not landing with
Let's
Nair
steal a stock
here,
right here.
and that's a good
Be a
option.
great
So he's
reversal
down air. This is when you can land with Nair, like right here, because I think it shifts Peach's her box a little bit forward to where you can avoid the up tilt. But most importantly, the Nair will trade with this up tilt while landing. We saw Ling Ling use that quite a bit.
Mudace is in the air, narrowly escaping the
Okay.
laser. Narrowly escaping the
There it is
laser.
again, gyro into a. Did you use laser earlier? Let me
Mudace is
see.
in the
So
air,
there's the laser.
narrowly escaping.
Yeah, you're keeping track of when he uses laser. Yeah. So again, if he doesn't have laser after he shoots the gyro, he's probably gonna nair. And then we catch the landing with down air, try to read the jump out of shield, but instead he's opts to stay grounded and then get the punish. So that also works. But I want to see him use like float
Aries.
in these spots. I know what we were saying in neutral. You can not only use this to avoid grounded options and cover the roll, but you can also just like jump here and get Rob trying to jumping out of shield or trying to anti-air you.
Oh, okay, double parries.
But I think here he could have gotten a free down tilt. Yeah, he could have, but I mean the grab's not bad either.
Oh,
Still
okay,
a
double
punish,
parries.
still damage on
Mute's
Rob.
coming out on top.
One thing I like to do here is
Oh,
after
okay,
getting this
double
down throw
parry.
F tilt, is F tilt again. Because people most likely, after, it's like we were saying about the down tilt, right? These low knockback moves, some people will try to mash out of them. And knowing Rob and knowing Zomba's playstyle, he's kind of aggressive. So going for another up tilt here or a parry to try to get a parry down tilt is the way to go. So I like mentioning this is a really good example of bait and punish game where once you know the opponent's habits, you can start taking advantage of them to get free down tilts and free kills as Peach. And that's kind of the heart of Peach is using all of your mix-ups and knowing a lot about the game to kind of increase and knowing your opponent's habits and paying attention to them to get these combo starters as Peach.
Mute's
It's
coming
really
out on
important.
top.
But yeah, just something very small.
Okay,
Mute's
double
might have not known
parries.
about it, but after this F tilt is the same thing as down tilt. Sometimes you can just walk and shield here, or go for another F tilt to kind of anti-air them. So see what they do after this F tilt to kind of maybe get a free down tilt.
Mute's
You
coming
never
out
know.
on top.
Interesting. Yeah, again, we're in the spot again where we're sandwiched between. He shields, and then he catches the landing.
They're just looking for somebody
There's
to
the
make
nair.
the first mistake.
And the nair's pretty good too. I like it. Where after he lands, so he's trying to shark with fairs. And yeah, these nairs this game are really helping me this. And I would have liked to see that more in the other games. Catches the jump at ledge. Catches the landing. Just spacing outside of his range. Now he's getting the jumps. And there's the jump out of shield. And then he jumps again. Let me see. Because we are seeing this as a habit as well. Where he fares, and then he jumps away. It's kind of what we were talking about Peach's Nair, where you can throw it out with a full hop and not touch the ground to kind of trick people to catch your landings. So Zomba oftentimes will fare and then jump away and then land with the Nair. So I like that Nair there. I think it's just something Mutace knows by playing this matchup. But let's look at the fair sharking from earlier.
On top.
See if he does the same thing. Fair, and then okay, it's not the same, but we'll check next time if he fares again.
With control. Finds Zomba jumping.
But yeah, stay grounded here. Wait for the projectile.
Almost.
But yeah, again, I want to see him do where he's in the air and then he tries to like just do a rising aerial. Because worst case scenario, you can always retreat to the platform as a way to kind of cover yourself.
Almost. Zamba's fighting for
oh no, he landed on the platform again and he died. So yeah, definitely just avoid the platforms. Mutates, that's also another thing that's just getting him, is he's always drifting to these platforms. It's very obvious. They can get you killed.
Wow.
Okay.
That was an amazing just show of focus right there.
Good. Throw the
from
thing
Zomba.
up. Nice. Catches the aggressive option.
Mute's doesn't need a lot.
Nice. Catches the roll. Fair pressure. Nice up smash. Very smart.
Very high percents.
Holds shield longer.
I don't know.
Good. Get the grab.
Mute's needs to find something quick.
Okay. So yeah, I like how he's playing grounded throughout this part of the game. Because we definitely don't want to repeat of some of the other games.
This whole entire set, so
because we have access to shield and now we can get parry punishes.
I don't know.
Personally here, after this down throw, one option you can use to get a kill is try to bait an air dodge. And you can... The fair was good. Just try to read what they do after the down throw instead of autopiloting with back air. Because you can either get a fair or try to bait out an air dodge and get an up smash read.
Needs to find something.
I think it's really solid.
Quicker, sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Disadvantage right here.
Now it's all about getting that kill.
Hitting the top, but gets the up air. Still right here for Zomba.
Here. Yeah, and then he goes for the up air very
To the
early.
top, but gets the up air. It's still not going to die off that. 165.
Nice. The
And
nair, like we said, these nairs have been super
fair.
good
It's still not going
this
to die
game,
off that.
especially. Like
165.
he opts to just pressure him with nair rather than going for forward airs. It's been helping him a lot.
Going to die off that.
Definitely best tool in the matchup, I think, especially close quarters. Is that JCFF nair against Rob? So we're on here. Let's see how many bets on laser. I'm just gonna say he's gonna laser. Yep, he goes for the laser. So gyro to run up shield. So yeah, it's normally some grounded option, or yeah, but he's not sandwiched between it, so it wouldn't make sense for him to do that.
Game 5, PS2. Let it rip.
Go for it there. Let's see.
Game 5, PS2.
Laser, gyro. Yeah, and then it seems after he fares, he likes to jump again. Or try to anti-air. So that's kind of his main thing with fair. So he could have... I think he should have still gone for the JCFF nair, honestly. Like, funny enough. You can just go for it there, and it would have anti-aired, rather than go for this really slow fair. Nice down air. Up tilt, nice.
Wow, I love that up tilt.
Get the aggressive landing. Nice. Like we were saying. Another thing is, like, when you're pressuring Rob at this angle, it's just good to go for tomahawks. He should have pummeled there. He should have like done 1 and then gone for 3.
Here we go, and this is the start that Mutates wants.
Throw it up.
Just wants to find a way to.
And that's something else you can do while throwing it up.
And this is the start
Is
that wants.
you can do this, catch it again, float, and now you have a way to catch an anti-air Rob from approaching, and it makes sense because after he throws his gyro and we're sandwiched between, he's probably gonna run up
Way
to
to
us.
just get a very big
ground
lead
lead.
against Rob.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little biased.
Yeah,
Throw the turnip up.
we see Zomba
Nice.
just getting assaulted over and over again.
He's doing really good
49.6
at getting
to
these
start.
landings now.
Zomba needs something to make this
Oh,
comeback.
I like that mix up. It's very different from what he was doing.
Zomba-
So, all right, so we're back. Someone called me for something, so sorry for the delay. But let's go back here to where we were saying. So yeah,
Zomba needs
the ops to mix up by landing and then shielding, which makes sense because Rob was gonna try to catch him with the up tilt. So I definitely like this mix up here.
something to make this comeback.
And that also helps to cover the roll. So very smart
Yeah,
from
so
me.
I'm
Starting from a deficit would really suck.
But
Yeah,
trouble
starting,
catching
Zomba
gyro,
getting
and he
steamrolled
catches
right now.
He's
Starting
just
from
so
a deficit would really
good
suck.
at just
starting,
spacing around what Zomba wants. He has been aggressive, but this air dodge doesn't really net him much because he's still going to be in the same area anyways. So it was just nice spacing on
Getting
Mutace's part.
steamrolled right now. And the back air, here we go, Mutace on a roll, very
There it is
early.
again, but I think it's a
And the
good mix
back
up
air,
where he
here
jumps
we
over
go,
here,
Mutace
makes him
on a
think
roll,
that, but
very
I don't know.
early.
He kind of got lucky there.
Okay.
Wow, and immediately stops him. He's like, no more, please.
Yeah, he should have back aired here.
Okay.
It's
Wow,
like
and immediately
landing,
stop.
shield. And that's something else you can do with turnip, is you can condition Robin to shielding. And we already know Zomba's main habits out of shield, which is jump or roll.
Stops him,
So,
he's like,
yeah, he should have... I would have tried to cover the roll here. Actually, honestly, I would have tried to cover the jump. I think it's a little bit better here.
no more,
Just be in the air,
please.
so I don't get
Here we
like
go.
down tilted here.
The
Zomba
throw.
with the back throw, yeah. And I think the back throw so that
Yep.
he could get stage control.
Nice.
No one's
Yeah,
home.
big punish on that.
Just play patient, stay grounded. And that turnip catches Rob's landing. Super good. Aggressive option, nice up there.
Okay.
But it was just
Opportunity.
unfortunate.
Oh, fell out of the second hit of up tilt.
Yeah, he was going for the double. He wanted to make sure that he got the
Yep.
max damage.
I like how
He was
Mutace
able
is
to get
just
the
playing
double.
patient. in
Wow,
the corner
missing
here.
the
It's
back
really
air
paying
and
off.
literally
Turn
snaking
to
their
fair,
way out. Got
catch
the
that
max damage
aggressive
for that,
option
wasn't able to get it,
again.
though. Wow, missing
Catch
the back
jump
air
is
and
jumping out of disadvantage.
literally
Super
snaking
common.
their way
We
around
all know
that.
this.
For
And we have the lead. So now we just need to play patient. No need to force the issue. Just play evasive and be very hard to kill. Play
a fair
exactly.
Mutace.
Texas
Nice.
is going crazy out in the crowd.
Get up attack. Very smart.
Samba. Oh, the one more stock chance are out of
Yeah, there it is again.
Samba.
So the up air, we have the turn up. I think Mutace is kind of getting a little obvious with it, where you want to avoid being very one dimensional when you have a turnip in hand. It's super obvious that you want to go for this up air, here, because you have the turn up and you want to convert. But instead, I would just like move on the ground a little bit more instead of trying to like shark
One
for
more
uppers.
stock
But I mean, it
chancer
makes
out
sense. You
of
get a lot of reward from it.
Zamba.
But like here, after he lands, I would have just went for the downer here. Or what you could have done instead is, yeah, honestly, just go for Z drop rising downer, and you would have caught the jump here, and it would have been good. You would have been in the air, but we can always reset. So like over here, if we're fine, while also covering our landing with the turn up.
Oh, the one more stock
But I mean, the up air also does that as well. So
chancer out. Of course they are.
just
They would
jump
love
have
to
it
see
out of
Mudays
shield
take
anyways.
this. And it is a giant comeback for Zamba.
Play patient here.
Mudays has found a way to get
does he have his,
themselves
does
in
he
a
not have his foot?
two-stock
Okay,
lead to try to win the set after that comeback.
nice. Back air.
Zamba can
Just
find
play
this
patient
stock
here
without
because
taking
he is going to be aggressive. So we know our patience will pay
set.
off.
And then do very well in the second one.
There's still a chance.
Still a chance.
There's still definitely, most definitely a chance. Right?
Oh, he catches
still
him
a
going
chance.
low.
Still a chance.
There's still
So
definitely
here, this is, if Rob misses that, just immediately up B. Because the Nair does have a little bit of lag out here. So it would have been better, I think, just immediately go for up B and get free tack on some
chance.
damage.
Right,
Or getting
and
the
we'll
stage
get it
first, so.
from below. Very below the stage right there. Very, very good
Up
up
air
tilt.
fair, catches the landing.
Excuse me,
Now we're
very,
going to
very
throw
good
this
up air.
up.
Yeah, you got it.
Back air to catch him again.
Mudays is not going to make this easy either.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yeah, he should have shielded there.
Mudays
Would've
is
been
not
better.
going to make this
Done that. He did a good job at baiting the Nair. This is when you just up tilt because we already know he's going to run off the platform with something,
Either.
most likely.
Wow.
drag
So,
down.
The drag down.
Any extra damage is good
Zamba
with a
with an
lead like
opportunity.
this. Gyro laser, just space around the Nair. And yeah, he's using this there pretty
Mudays.
well. He spaced it.
Playing a little bit slower, trying to get the control of the game, and we know what's coming
Nice.
from Zamba. Zamba attempting for the
Because Zamba does have
Control
this,
the
because
game
we
and
know he's
we-
aggressive. He's probably going to try to punish you out of shield
know what's coming from
with
Zamba.
the gyro.
Zamba attempting
Wait
for
for it,
the
throw it up. Should have caught it again, but yeah,
arm rotor
yeah
setup.
that works too.
Right. The robot.
Attempting for the
Let's see.
the arm rotor setup.
Right.
Fair, and then, I mean, it's pretty
Robot
laggy,
Reaper.
but maybe you shouldn't have fared there.
The
Just
arm
keep
rotor
it simple. Don't try to overextend
Setup.
Right.
while juggling. Just keep it simple.
The robot Reaper. Parry.
There's the two projectiles we had
Finds
to
a
wait
mark.
for. It has not changed.
getting a little bit too aggressive.
And there's the turnip out of the corner. I don't agree. We just need to get out of the corner at this point. Start walking, because especially when you get this get up attack, there's a free way to get off of ledge, but now we can start walking and getting out of here. But maybe it's not too bad because we can anti-air rob at this point with it. But your priority is just to not be in the corner so we can't kill you and make a comeback. Oh, trying to get the roll.
Oh, okay.
Wow, and just playing wow. And tried the back air like
Computer issues again, but the set's almost over, so we're good.
the forward hitbox didn't hit by that.
Oh, he should have went
Just playing,
for the
wow,
punish
tried the
there.
back
I
air
like
like
that
the-
he saved
Like the
because he just held shield a little longer, which was a good mix-up.
forward hitbox didn't hit by that.
But yeah, again, like he was gonna up tilt him
Whoa,
anyways, but he should
and
have went for the
misses
back
the
here.
up air.
Be careful, Mudays. Zamba looks like he's got the fire. It has
Especially
returned to
here,
his
when you have the lead
Mudays.
and you have gyro in hand,
Looks like
it's
he's got the
really
fire.
good to just hold it. Because now, it makes his neutral even more linear, and it's easier to bait out stuff like the rolls, forcing jumps especially versus him, because he is jumping a lot when he has gyro, and we can do certain stuff with that. And having this gyro, once he lands, we can force him into shield, and then we can like read a roll or a jump. But I think reading the jump would have been perfect. We would have thrown it to catch his landing, so we had to shield, and then we read the jump out of shield,
It has
which would
returned
have
to
been
his body.
super duper good.
Wow,
There.
he's literally throwing his back airs and like Peach is getting inside of that hitbox and throwing a move out.
Keep it grounded and don't overextend with up air.
168. Be careful, because Peach does have that back throw as well. I think Zamba's keeping
Yeah.
that in mind.
Whoa, almost got sniped by the top.
Okay, just keep it simple.
What's your options to get
Nice.
up? And the Nair almost killing. This is kind of getting a
Oh,
little bit stressful
man.
right here from Mudays at 140.
Should have spaced it a little farther.
The
Oh,
footstool gonna be
Footstool,
able to 40.
Here, I think maybe he should have went low and like thrown it up. because this would have been really good to just stop Rob from
Footstool here from Udays at 140.
getting to ledge first, or even this footstool.
The footstool gonna be able to, but the dare connected.
Yeah, now it's scary.
Mudace needs to find the stock.
But here, what would have been good. I mean, it's kind of risky. We already know Rob wants to like Z drop near here, so you could have went for an up smash. But rising back air would have been perfect here. I think this would have taken the game, especially since 2-1 here. He's holding shield with a gyro. Oh no, he wasn't holding shield, but when they have gyro in hand, they're gonna Z drop near you to try to 0 to death you. But rising back air here would have been perfect, absolutely perfect to go here for here. Just try to catch him doing this.
Needs to find the
Yeah, I
stock.
think Mudace's biggest problem was he was trying to. He isn't reading jumps super well, and even if it is, it's stuff like fair. Fair's too slow, and you need to go for stuff like JCFF.
Oh,
Like I said, the gyro setups, there's no way.
No way.
There's no way. Oh my God, the
really-
legs are the high percentage.
Very patient
You gotta
here.
play carefully here. Things have gotten out of
Dash
control,
attack,
but not.
and this would have been good if we went for a pommel earlier, because that might have killed. So something to keep in mind. If we would have meant for maybe more tomahawks, or we would have added that extra pommel from earlier, I think this would
Bermudez
have been
still
super
not
good.
dead at 197.
oh my goodness. The turnip, the gyro, that
Gyro to laser.
I can't even, my brain can't formulate thoughts. I'll be commentating in sound effects for the remainder.
206. Ooh,
Oh,
the
he
air
had
dodge,
it.
The weave. Trying to just use projectile.
Yeah, he should start using fair
Ooh,
here.
the air dodge, the weave.
Just go for fair, just to read him, because we already know he wants to jump off of ledge, and we can fade back with the fair to still cover roll. So
Trying
it's
to
kind of
just use
interesting that.
projectiles to just stay careful here.
Oh, he
The
got
spaghetti!
him! Oh yeah, and this is the problem we were talking about earlier, where Mudace likes to jump from ledge a lot, so this really cost him.
No way!
So it's kind of just a lot of habits that he missed out on, or Zomba took advantage of, that got him here. Yeah, but it was just the main habits kind of was his downfall in this set. But I hope everyone enjoyed the set review. Sorry for the computer issues throughout this set. I'm gonna try to get that fixed. But I hope this definitely helps your understanding of how to fight Rob. Rob can be pretty complicated, very scary to fight. But we kind of saw from the Ling Ling set, I think these were like a few weeks apart or like a month apart, not too long, to where the same habits stuck, and the stuff I was saying was very effective. Like the JCFF nairs, being very patient in the corner, abusing Rob's blind spot, reading his out of shield options, using the gyro against him. Just all of those things combined together, especially in the Mude set. And the ones he took advantage of, he did well. But I think Ling Ling did a much better job at just catching Zomba's jumps. Mainly, that was like the big thing, I think, as well as using Nair more. But yeah, I hope this helps.